Their Majesties would invite into their court Christoffel de Elaine le Comte.
Not only securing all the things necessary for the sustenance of life, but also arms him with the sword, the noblest instrument of all, protecting again and defending him with it against any assault of enemy force. If you speak this and apply it to all, then you have. Then what do we have? I speak, of course, of Christoffel, shepherd of tigers' cubs, guardian of storms, and he which carries in one hand sheaf of toil, and the other the golden rapier. He has earned many accolades of the Sunstone, and he has earned that of the Silver Crescent. And I bring upon you that who will answer a question asked of him much time ago.
You have sat vigil, and you have been asked a question, and you have taken counsel. We would have your answer now.
I take the advice of my friends and fellows. I will accept.
Their Majesties would invite into their court the companions of the Order of the Pelican.
No, I can get up. I'm just going down a be the short person.
It's a short trip.
No, you gotta make some effort. Oh, you when I have to get up. Deal. Oh no.
See over the top of
We would see your peer before us.
You have taught me so much. Thank you so much for being my protege. You taught me so much.
Nice.
I'll give you that to hold on to. And then I'll give you this back so that you could give it to a protege of your own someday. Thank you so much. I love you so much.
One more thing. In appreciation of your efforts in keeping me sane, I present you this.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much.
Is there a member of the chivalry who will speak for this candidate?
Your Majesties, I, Count Wilhelm von Ostenbruck, do hereby claim that honor.
Swag.
Your Majesties, Highnesses, may I address the populace?
Okay.
Step out of the way of all parents, no one wants to see that. So, Your Majesties, I'm here to speak today for Christoffel, on behalf of the Order of Chivalry. Anyone who's been to an SEA event knows that without the chivalry, an event will go on. Without the fencing, without the ANS, without all these other orders, an event will go on. However, without those who put in all the work behind the scenes, without those who tirelessly sacrifice their time off to help organize and run these events, we wouldn't have events. So, Your Majesty, to be brief, without people like Christoffel to do all of the work that allows us, to come to these events and fight and fence and display our A&S and to socialize and hang out and get away from the world for a little while. Without this Order of the Pelican, without people like Christoffel, we wouldn't have these events. So, because of the sacrifice they make to make my weekends a little more enjoyable, to allow me to go out and beat my friends, I humbly recommend him to your order.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there a member of the Order of the Laurel who will speak for this candidate?
I guess that's her.
Your Majesties, I am Maestrina Chiaretta di Fiore, and I claim the right to speak for this person as a member of the Order of the Laurel. May I address the populace?
You may.
Grazie. Today, Christoffel stands before us in recognition of his extensive service to this society. As a Laurel, I wish to speak to his service to the arts and sciences community. Though he would fervently deny my statement, Christoffel is an artisan. He makes glass beads, brews beer and other beverages, and even does some woodworking from time to time. But these are just trifling endeavors undertaken for fun. Christoffel's true contribution to the arts and sciences community is his endless support. This man gives his time to support A&S for others. He works behind the scenes at St. Eligius Arts and Sciences event so that artisans can focus on their art. He carefully collaborates with the A&S coordinators to ensure the competition and display go off without a hitch. Sure, this is why he's here to be recognized as a Pelican, but his service to the A&S community goes beyond official roles and stewarding events. Christoffel simply supports artisans. From family to friends to strangers, Christoffel is always interested in your latest project, and he will listen to you discuss the details at length. And we all know how long an artisan can talk about their project. He listens attentively through the ups and downs and the technical jargon, and still has words of encouragement that leave you feeling excited about your project. Christoffel's support is invaluable to both the local arts and sciences community and to the society as a whole. Your Majesties, Christoffel has long been my peer, and I am so happy to see him recognized this day. Grazie.
Is there a member of the Order of Defense who will speak for this candidate?
Your Majesties, I am Master Colin Monroe of Tadcaster. I have been asked to bring you the words of a Master of Defense who could not be here this day. Your most gracious Majesties, I offer you many thanks for allowing me to speak in your court. I am Ian of Tadcaster, 64th Companion of the Golden Rapier, 17th Master of Defense of the Outlands. It is under that second auspice that I'm here to speak on behalf of Christoffel from the Order of Defense. I have known this man for many, many years. He is a command of the blade that has garnered him both a silver and a golden rapier. And over the years I have known him, he has displayed an curiosity of forms and and philosophies which rival that of many masters. But it is not his skill that I'm here today to speak, but his service. I have served for 12 years as the Baronial Marshal in Bacale, and currently serve as the Outlands Kingdom Rapier Marshal. So service and I are not strangers. I know service, and when I see it, and I see it in Christoffel. It is his willingness to give of himself to teach others for which I speak. Laminated for Mudthaw. As a marshal, he has run tournaments that others may fence in them. He invigorated the practice in Dragonship Haven that others might perfect their art, and gather around him other fine swordsmen to help train the up-and-coming. If I may tell a story. Many years ago, I was asked to lead a practice at a small gathering at his home. While covering the mechanics of a good lunge, he commented that I appeared to be offering a slice of pizza to my opponent. We spent the rest of the practice gleefully crying, "Have a pizza!" while attacking our training partner. He has, over the ensuing years, taken "have a pizza" and turned it into a beloved training technique of his own. It's so simple a thing, but it illustrates his facility with breaking down a complex process so that it can be more easily passed on to the learner. I would say to you that the number of gentles who Christoph has offered pizza is countless. Quite literally. I once tried counting, lost track, started again, and eventually gave up. And there's not just any up-and-comers he works with. Your Majesties, he is trained as the Deputy Youth Marshal, his efforts directly benefiting the youth of your kingdom. His efforts have helped shape and guide the programs which give the children of the East a chance to partake in our pastime, which, as we know, can have an effect far outreaching the activities they take part in today. Christoffel has not only shown himself by deeds to be a skilled warrior, but also possesses the selflessness to freely offer his knowledge that others may aspire to reach the heights he has gained himself. It is this pattern of selflessness which allows me to say unto you, this man has showed himself to be a Pelican, and my peer on the behalf of the defense. I commend him to you.
Thank you.
And that was not fun.
Is there a member of the Order of the Rose who will speak for this candidate?
There is, Your Majesty. I'm Catherine Stanhope, Duchess of the East and Lady of the Rose, and I would speak for this candidate. I speak also on behalf of Duchess Luna, who was not able to stay for court. She and I have both known Lord Christoffel for many years, and he has served on Rose teams for both of us. And we could not be more proud to have someone like him representing us in this way. Christoffel's generosity and courtesy to those that he helps and those that he helps to better our society is beyond measure. And his grace and courtesy are an example to us all. So, Your Majesties, thank you this day for what you do, and I commend him to you.
Is there a member of the Order of the Pelican who will speak for this candidate?
Your Majesties, Your Highnesses, Your Excellency, may I address the populace?
May.
Thank you. Members of the Order assembled, Your Majesties, Excellencies all, people of the East. I am Baron Cormac McCammon Connemara, and I speak to the service of my dear friend, the Honorable Lord Christoffel d'Alens-Lacombe. Christoffel is a friend and a brother. He has served his family, his friends, his barony, his kingdom, and the society for as long as I've known him, and we're looking at 2 decades or more here. More. We'll stop at that. If it needs doing, Christoffel is there, with a smile and a disposition that makes others want to join with him and get it done. Need someone to make sure parking is orderly? Christoffel is there. Need someone to check memberships, authorizations, or vaccinations? Christoffel is there. Need someone to make sure the toilet paper and paper towels are stocked in the restrooms? Christoffel is there. The Baron or Baroness needs someone to handle something at the last minute? Christoffel is there. The Barony needs someone to step into an office in an emergency? Christoffel is there. They need help setting up a list field or the archery field, throwing weapons range? Christoffel is there. So when I speak of service, I speak of Christoffel. Christoffel is service. Christoffel is my brother. Christoffel is my peer. Thank you.
Commander needs regalia. Is there a medallion?
There is. Been wearing this in front of you all day, dude.
Is there history to this medallion?
It's a relatively new medallion, but it's an important medallion because it represents something that he and I do outside the SCA also. You got another medallion?
Yeah, Worm, did you have another medallion? No.
Okay.
Nope. Okay.
It's always good to check if there's another medallion. Is there a mantle?
There is, Your Majesty.
Oh, that's enough.
That was made by me with some emergency stitch witchery assistance from Torvi and from Aurelia.
And finally, is there a cap?
There is, Your Majesties. Make sure you put it at a jaunty angle.
Just jointy and mad.
Jaunty, not lopsided.
Sword of state.
I, Christoffel de Lecomte, do solemnly and sincerely promise and swear to uphold the virtues and values of the East Kingdom and the Society of Creative Anachronism to the best of my ability, as long as I walk this earth.
We put more trust in nobility of character than in an oath.
It is not the oath that makes us believe the person, but the person the oath.
So I, Mohammed,
And I, Karotika, believe your words to be true and accept your vow. And in return, we promise you amour
peace
and
justice.
justice. Thank you. Please rise. Scroll.
One and all shall know that the noble Christoffel de Lecomte has been one of the strongest supports of our Barony of Dragonship Haven. His service as seneschal, autocrat, and fencing marshal have been widely praised, but his efforts at events, tournaments, and local gatherings have been just as valuable. Thus we, Mohammed and Karotika, royal sovereigns of these eastern lands, find it our duty and pleasure to elevate Lord Christoffel to the Order of the Pelican and to grant him arms by letters patent. Azure, a semi of ears of wheat, on a pale, a sword, azure. Scroll by Catherine Stanhope.
Present to you Master Christoffel, the newest member of the Order of the Pelican.
For Master Christoffel, newest member of the Order of the Pelican. Viva!
Viva!
Viva!